Hi guys, this is Pradeep. Hope you are doing good. So today we will discuss about all the business process at very high level from the controlling point of view. So this video is going to help if you are core team member in your project, if you are business user, if you are SAP business analyst, if you are the process owner. So in all areas it is going to help you. So let's go into the detail about all the areas. If we will check the organization structure related to management accounting, so in SAP we are saying management accounting controlling, as you know. So basically you will find in the top, you will find the operating concern. In fact, in the entire organization structure, if you'll find the operating concern, which is there in the screen, you can see it is the highest node, operating concern. So operating concern, why it is required when you are going for profitability analysis. I'm not talking about the P&L income statement. I'm talking about management accounting point of view. In fact, whatever we will discuss today, so everything related to management accounting. So when you are going to do internal profitability analysis, so where you want to take multiple areas, like I want to take my customer group, I want to take product group, I want to take sales office, I want to take profit center, I want to take my sales manager. So multiple things we are going to generate and we are going to prepare the report. This information you are not going to get from your income statement or your P&L. Basically, we are going to take here the total cost, total revenue that we are going to get it from other modules like from finance, from logistic, from your module, you are going to get it from the production, you are going to get it from the revenue, you will get from the logistics. So from different sources, we will transfer the values and we will do the internal profitability analysis. So under the profitability analysis, you will find multiple data structures will be there. Any option you are going to follow, whether it is costing based COPA, whether it is margin analysis, account based, whatever. But in top, the organization structure, or in top, you should have the operating concern. So that's why in my this PPT you will find that operating concern which is there from the COPA or profitability analysis point of view. And this operating concern is one of your cost object, basically the profitability segment. So like you are defining the company code currency, your controlling area currency, similarly the profitability segment or your operating concern currency also you are going to define. So the next one will be your controlling area. So why controlling is required? So it is for COPC, cost of production calculation, for overhead management, for your product cost calculation. So for that you need controlling area. So again, under controlling area you are going to have the overheads, you are going to have other areas. Once we'll proceed, we will see those. So there you are going to also have the currencies. Then you are going to have a link with your chart of account, your fiscal year variant. Basically here we are going to, in fact in the operating concern also you are going to assign your chart of account. You are not going to assign, but you are going to assign your fiscal year variant, because you will take the data on the basis of one particular financial year. So first operating concern, then after that controlling area, then after that you can add multiple company codes. You can see in this example I have two company codes, Z500 and Z501. So one local currency INR. Now here controlling area currency, if you want you can take anything. In fact, as per your configuration, controlling area currency will be different. So if you want operating concern currency, that also you can take different. Suppose I want to take euro as my operating concern for the reporting point of view, that is absolutely fine. So your controlling area currency can be different and your local currency for your company code currency can be different. Like here I have taken example INR for one company code, fiscal year variant we are following April to March, that is V3, and for another company code Z501, the assume that it is US based operation and we have the local currency USD, chart of account common I am using here, and fiscal year variant Jan to December K4. So it is possible that under one controlling area you may assign multiple company code, and ultimately all the data we can transfer to the same profit, same operating concern, right? If we'll check the same, this is your complete organization structure, which includes logistic, which includes your plant, your sales, your purchase, everything. But right now we are focusing on the management accounting, and management accounting point of view, this will be your organization structure. So in this organization structure, you can see the highest node, because I sorted the data with the controlling area. So that's why you will find this Z500 is my controlling area. Then I have linked that controlling area with my operating concern. Controlling area is linked with the company code. Then this controlling area also connected with your operating concern. You can see here the operating concern is also there. So everything is connected with each other. So that means highest node operating concern, then controlling area, then company code. So this will be your organization structure from the management accounting point of view, as well as this will be the organization structure from the overall highest node, always the operating concern. Now coming to the next PPT, we will see what is next. So this will be the organization structure. When you are going to discuss with your customer, maybe they are not familiar, if right now they are not working on SAP, so they don't know what is operating concern, they don't know what is controlling area, but they want, like, we will go for internal profitability analysis, we will go for cost of production calculation. So you can suggest that we will draft our organization structure or your organization structure in this way, so that whatever the reports you are looking, you will get accordingly, or the business process will be part of in this all these areas. And basically this one is helpful if you are not, let's say you are not working as a consultant and you are core team member, or you are representing your company while doing the SAP implementation. So in this case it is very important for you, because your developer is looking the information from you, that how you want to maintain the hierarchy, whether you are going for profitability analysis or not. For example, let's say in this case, if I will remove the profitability analysis, then operating concern is not required, we will go with profit center accounting. So if you are going for COPA, particularly using profitability analysis, then operating concern will be required. Coming to the next PPT. Next, here I've just given a highlight, like how the cost and revenue will be there. And when we are saying that cost, so cost, we know that what are different type of costs are involved in your cost of production calculation, as well as overhead management, because basically what we're doing in management accounting, we are managing the cost and the revenue. Revenue we will get it from the logistic module, particularly sales, and all type of cost, both your direct, indirect, primary cost and secondary cost. So everything we are going to manage under your management accounting. So cost is basically divided into two areas: primary cost and revenue, primary cost or revenue you can say, and secondary cost. Now let's take example of primary cost. For example, we have workers, employees, we are paying salary. So that is our primary cost, because this salary cost will be initiated from the finance. So that means one finance user is going to record that salary paid for this month, this much. We are going to incur, for example, let's say any cost related to machineries, right? So maybe we consume electricity, we consume fuel, we consume different type of cost. For example, let's say we incur the cost related to advertisement. So when any finance is involved, you paid these fees or payable generated. So in that case, that we are saying that primary cost. So that means you can say direct determination cost is possible. That is primary cost. And always you'll find the source document, either it will be finance or it may be a logistic also. For example, material consumption. That means against one production order, we are going to consume some material. We are going to use some material in our production. So source will be the logistic document, and with reference to that, we are going to have the accounting document. In end, I will show you one accounting document also. So that is again primary cost. So which cost you can directly identify, you can directly define, that is your primary cost. Then what about the and respective cost element categories will be there. Mostly you will find that cost element category, if it is linked with finance, where the user is going to post the document FB50, you can see in the screen one image is showing. So that is our FB50 entry. So basically here we are going to enter one GL account. We are going to enter here some cost element. So cost element, although in ECC we have different components are there, GL is separate and cost element is separate. But in S4 now we have only one GL master with cost element category 1. Then what about the secondary cost? When direct determination cost is not possible. When I am saying salary, so that we are saying that it is primary cost. But if I will say that we need to derive the labor cost. Now there is nothing called labor cost. Labor cost includes various type of cost we are going to combine together, and that we are going to link with our activity, right? So like human resource, any cost we are going to pay towards our employees. So all cost we are going to combine together, and that we are going to link with our labor activity. So then we will find out per unit, per hour, per minute, whatever our labor cost. Similarly, if I will say that electricity consumed in any particular machine, so that you will say that it is primary cost. Whereas if we will say that your setup cost or machinery cost. Now what is machinery cost? You are not going to pay any transaction from the finance that machinery cost or machine expense cost. There is nothing called machine expense. You can say that we consume electricity, fuel, or lubricant, or different your maintenance expenditure. This type of expenditures which you can identify in the finance, that you can identify. But when I'm saying setup cost, assemble cost, your any operational cost, so these type of cost you can't define. Like if I'm the finance user, I will not able to identify what you are talking about, the setup cost. So setup cost, again, in controlling or in management accounting, we need to see what are there in the setup cost when we are going to design the cost of production calculation. So that is your secondary cost. For example, if I'm saying that, let's say we are going to include advertisement cost. Now, if I will, when I'm saying advertisement cost, what is advertisement cost? Advertisement cost includes many type of campaign cost. We have paid advertisements, we have some organic advertisement cost is there, we have some TV ads, social media ads, so many things are there. So in total, we are going to combine and we are going to calculate our cost of goods sold, and in that we have the advertisement cost. So when the direct determination of cost is not possible, so that is your secondary cost. Basically, we'll find the secondary cost is used in your cost of production calculation, in your cost allocations, when you are going to identify your overheads, your rate. So this type of secondary cost will be there. And practically, if you'll see, your primary cost element is more linked with finance. You can see this one. So your primary cost is linked with the finance, and it's also linked with your management accounting, because when I'm recording the cost, I'm going to get a final P&L update, so that it will be my finance, and same cost we are going to transfer to your CO also. And secondary cost is always linked with your controlling. You are not going to post one FB50 entry or one expense posting as secondary cost from the controlling. Let's say if you have, let's say, linked one cost element category 42 or 43, 21, this type of cost element categories, you can't book one expenditure from your controlling, from your finance. So that's why secondary cost is linked with controlling. Primary cost is linked with your finance. And categories already I explained. So when you are going to do the system configuration, you should be familiar with all type of primary cost element categories and secondary cost element. Here one small comparison. In ECC, we are creating the cost element separately. After creating the GL account, you need to convert. Those already work on the ECC, you can connect this one. So all the GL accounts we need to convert into primary cost element. Whereas to create the secondary cost element, we don't have such requirements. So I can directly go to K06 and I can create the secondary cost element. Secondary cost elements are not part of your chart of account in your EC system. Whereas in S4, both primary cost and secondary cost elements are part of chart of account. So that's why I have highlighted primary cost and secondary cost, both are part of your chart of account. But don't get confused here, as secondary cost elements are part of chart of account. So that does not mean that you are going to post one expense by using secondary cost. You try, you will get the error. So these are the different cost and revenues are there. So of course, revenue categories will be there 11, that is our revenue, which will be initiated from the logistic if it is with sales order. If directly you are going to book any expenditure through your normal finance entry, which is very less, so FB70 entry, so that also you are going to you can create your GL account with 11 cost element category 11, and you can book the revenue with SD or without SD. Coming to the next one, so what are the different master data we are going to use? So let's do a quick comparison. So what are the different master data we are using in management accounting? So management accounting point of view, here when you are going to create the GL account, so we have cost element categories are there. You can see in the screen. So different cost element categories are available, right? So we have one category is there, that is your non-operating expense or income. So is it connected with finance? Of course, GL means it is connected with finance, but it is not connected with your management accounting. So that's why I highlighted here no. So primary cost and revenue category, you can see the second one, that is primary cost or revenue. Yes, it is. So everything is connected with FI. So that's why first column, second column I have included here. Yes. Whereas management accounting point of view, these are also included. So when you are going to create any expenditure which is cost or revenue, which will be originated with finance, and cost we are going to transfer to controlling. So in that case, you need to select here the primary cost or revenue option, category P. You are not going to select here non-operating expense or income. Check in the image, right? So if you are going to select non-operating expense or income, so that means this GL account, whatever we are going to use, you will not have any account assignment. Basically, finance point of view we are going to use. Whereas if you are going to use in both FI and CO, then make sure that you are going to select option P, primary cost and revenue. So that's why I've included both. Secondary cost, I already explained what is the difference between primary and secondary cost. So secondary cost is connected with management accounting, yes, of course. Then why I have given here, it is connected with the finance also. Now, with secondary cost, I said that you are not going to book one expenditure. You are not going to post any document by using secondary cost element. But in S4, we have FICO reconciliation is there. So with reference to, check this image. So with reference to controlling document, we are going to have a FI document. It is basically for the reconciliation purpose. So source document will be controlling, and controlling document is going to generate the finance document. So which is also again part of your chart of account. So for that purpose, I have given here that it is connected with, yes, connected with finance, but not directly, only for the reconciliation point of view. Balance sheet category, it is very clear. Balance sheet is not part of management accounting, so that's why it is connected with finance. It is not connected with management accounting. And we have the option, cash option is, it is connected with, again, it is used in your bank ledger accounting. So it is connected with your financial accounting. It is not connected with management accounting. So basically, if you are part of your management accounting team, then your area of concern will be basically the primary cost, revenue, and secondary cost. So mostly you are going to work on these areas. But if it is primary cost and revenue, that means your team or you are not going to directly post the expenditures or revenue. It will be initiated from other module. If it is expense, it is going to initiate it from the finance. If it is any, for example, let's say material, so material consumption cost, material cost, then it will be originated from the PP module. Then with reference to material movement will be there. Then you are going to have accounting document, and then you are going to take the CO information. So this is how it is designed. So basically you are going to deal with primary and secondary cost. Coming to the next slide. So the same, like what are the different master data we are going to use? So one master data is your GL account extended with your cost element category. But again, we are not going to create any cost element master record like our ECC. Whereas in ECC, we have two master records are there. Now coming to cost center. So cost center is like where we are, it is one of our cost object where we are going to record the cost. In general term point of view, if we'll try to understand, costing point of view, it is our department. So we have different departments are there. So in one business, you will find some production departments are there, right? We have R&D department is there, marketing, HR department, admin department. So many departments are there. So when any user is going to book the expenditure, so they are going to record the cost with cost object, nothing but simply you can say the cost center or the department. Now all these departments are not connected with production. For example, let's say your admin department. Now admin department is not integrated with PP module, but that cost also we are going to pay salary, office expenditures are there for admin department. So any cost which we are going to record other than your production cost centers, so that need to be in month end, we need to allocate that cost to the production cost center. So that is allocation will come later, I will explain. So different type of cost centers will be there. So when you are going to design your organization structure related to cost center accounting, which we are saying that standard hierarchy related to cost center, which I will show you later. So you will find different type of cost centers we are going to use. So basically it is part of your cost of production calculation at higher level and overhead management. So all cost related to cost center will be transferred to your respective cost object. So basically from here, we are going to take the cost to the cost object like your production order when we are going to calculate our cost of production. It is connected with your activity too, because activity also we are going to include in your operation. Now, how long we are going to use it, the cost center? Is it for a 1 day or 1 month or 1 year? How long we are going to use it? You can use as long as, so that's why you can see the validity. So valid from 1st April 2023 to infinity. That means we are going to use this one for a long run. So it is not a short living cost object. It is long living cost object. If in interview you are getting question, what is the meaning of long living cost object? So cost center is one of them. It will be used forever or for a long period till the time we want to use it. It is active and we are going to take that one. Similarly, another category is their activity type. So activities, for example, let's say we have in operation, it's not like when we are going to design our manufacturing process. So we have so many activities are there. Like we have labor activities, we have machinery activities, we have packing activities, assemble, welding, so many activities are there. So every cost is connected with one activity. So we are also going to create different activity master records in controlling, and that later we are going to link with our operation, which nothing but we are saying that we are going to link this one with our routing settings or our operation settings. Parameters and all will be maintained in our PP module. So CO point of view, if we are managing the CO team, then it is highly required you should understand what is there in the activity. And in this activity, various informations we are going to add, your planned information, your actual information, because activity will be used in planned cost as well as your actual cost. So that's why you will find same informations, your planned informations are there as well as the actual informations are there. The highlighted portion is right now I'm highlighting, that is the planned information. Then coming to the lower segment, you will find that it is our actual information. So it is helpful for your activity cost calculation during your period end, or basically your planned cost calculation as well as actual cost calculation. Similarly, we have another cost object is there, internal order, but this one is short living cost object. So for a particular purpose, we are going to use it, and after that we may close it. We are going to complete it. So these are your order management or internal order. So orders is a very vast term if we are going to use in controlling, so that we are saying that internal order. So this one, like for we are going to capture our advertisement cost for fourth quarter. That's it. So once all the cost we are going to settle, and we will transfer to where we want to take, whether it is part of cost of production calculation we will take, or we are going to take to cost of goods sold, then after that we will close this internal order. So that, like your cost center, you are not going to use this one forever. So it is a short living cost object. For a specific purpose we are going to create, and we will use it. So that is also again CO point of view one master data. Now this is how it is designed. Like basically if you'll see, so till now you understood what are the different cost objects we have. So we have cost center is there, we have internal order, right? So when you are going to design your overhead, so we have processes there. And with this, what we are going to do, we are going to calculate, because when you are going to start the manufacturing, in manufacturing, it's not like with material you can calculate your cost. So material will be there, your conversion cost will be there, your overheads will be there. So that is known as your overhead management. So master data used in overhead cost controlling, nothing but your overhead calculation point of view. So these are different master data we are going to use. And all these, so we gathered all type of cost from cost center, from order, from process. So all cost where we are going to transfer, we will transfer to the product. But product is your balance sheet item. When you are saying that finished stock, semi-finished stock, these are your balance sheet item. We are talking about cost. So that's why all cost, first it will be transferred to your production order. Right? So if you have checked my any cost of production calculation video, so there I have used the production order. So with reference to production order, we have calculated the cost. I can also add that in the description so that you can go through that. So every production order when you are going to create, or process order you are going to create, so that is your cost object. So all cost in period end, we need to transfer to the production order, or during operation we need to transfer to the production order, so that we can calculate our conversion cost or our overhead cost. So once this cost will be calculated, then this cost we are going to transfer into profitability analysis point of view. So we will do a comparison between cost and revenue. So cost we are going to gather from different sources, particularly I am talking about overhead, and it will be compared with your revenue. So these are the master data we are using in our overhead cost calculation. So because this type of questions will be there when you are going to initially, when you are going to discuss with your project discussion you are going to do with your business users, they will ask this type of question, because they are using right now all this. Maybe they are not familiar with the terms, whatever we are using in SAP. And if you are a business user, or you are a process owner, core team member, so you are familiar with this, all this stuff, then when consultant is going to do the workshops, so it will be very helpful for you. Coming to this one, so how the cost will be allocated? As I said, we have two type of cost. One is your primary cost and secondary cost. All costs need to be allocated, because maybe you have hundreds of cost centers are there. Out of this 100 cost center, maybe 20 cost centers are linked with your production or linked with your operation. But other 80 cost centers also we are going to record the cost, or other cost objects we are going to record the cost. So in the period end, it is the responsibility of the CO team. They are going to allocate this cost from the sender cost center or sender cost object to wherever we are going to allocate this cost. So that process is known as your allocation. So here we have two type of allocations are there, primary allocation as well as secondary allocation. And basically again, it is part of your overhead management, right? So here when we are when you are going to play with your plant data, so that is related to plant cost calculation. If it is actual data, then it is actual cost calculation. So we are going to use here different type of allocation methods. If you are going to use the GL accounts, which you are using with finance, so that is known as your distribution method or period end distribution method. Basically we are going to use your primary cost element. So you can see this image, this is an example of your primary cost element we are going to use, or this is your distribution method. Basically, this image is related to period and distribution method, but same way distribution is applicable. So here we are not going to use secondary cost element. Whereas when you are going to use secondary cost element, for example, there are so many costs is there, right? You can check this image. There are so many costs is there, and this cost we are going to transfer to our multiple receiving cost center related to production. And those costs, I'm saying that it is our maintenance cost. Now, what is maintenance cost? Maintenance cost includes various type of cost related to our machineries, related to depreciation also included here. So all type of cost I combine together. Now I am saying that maintenance cost. This cost is not recorded from the finance point of view. This cost, individual cost I combine together. Now I am saying that this total combined cost is my maintenance cost. Again, this maintenance cost I am going to link with one operation or activity, right? So this is our secondary cost. So when you are going to do the allocation by using secondary cost element, so in that case we have two options are there. Assessment method is there. If you are going to use 42 category, if you are going to use activity, then you can use activity allocation. So distribution and period in distribution, we are going to use the GL accounts or primary cost. If it is secondary distribution, so in that case it will be assessment. So when you are going to more involved in the your allocation configuration related to cost center, you will get more clarity. But at very high level, you can understand that we have two type of allocations are there, and it is part of your product cost accounting. So when you are going to calculate your various type of cost, like your simultaneous costing, your final costing, your calculation of your actual cost, so all this part will be there. So right, so there you are going to include your activity cost, but how we will get it? So one before that, as a month end, you need to complete all type of allocations, and once the cost will be allocated, then it will be transferred to your cost, transferred to your COPA as your cost of sales or cost of goods sold. So this is how the cost is going to allocate. Okay, so this is, you can see the flow of your cost. So the right, extreme right segment already you are familiar. So we are going to include both cost and revenue when we are going, because as I said, COPA, your profitability analysis is purely analytical module. In COPA, you are not going to post a single transaction. Transactions will be initiated in other areas, and everything we are going to transfer to COPA for profitability analysis. So that if you are talking about cost and depreciation, it is related to finance, and particularly depreciation is related to asset. If you are talking about any cost related to human resource, then it will be your HR module, HCM. If it is related to material, then it is your purchase orders, goods issue. If it is related to production, then PP, then it will be production order. If it is revenue, then it is related to sales order. So from different sources, we are going to get our revenue and cost, and that we are going to transfer to your profitability analysis point of view. So this is how the flows of values are going to work in COPA. And basically, as you know that finance is your external reporting and CO will be your internal reporting. So whatever the outcomes you are going to generate, if it is balance sheet, then that is related to FI. If it is P&L or income statement, that is again related to FI. If it is cash flow statement, related to FI. Whereas management accounting point of view, you are going to have a report related to cost of production calculation, your profit center reports, your cost center report, right? So your margin analysis report, contribution margin report. So everything is related to management accounting. Mainly the management accounting reports is report to management, internal management, whereas FI reports are externally report to external users, means government, bankers, shareholders. So those reports are related to FI, external reports, and internal reports are related to FI. And business point of view, if you are the like business user, and if you are from the top or middle management, then you are more focused, or like your area of interest will be the management accounting report, not the FI. If I am working on the statutory point of view, then in that case statutory auditor or a finance point of view, then my area of interest will be the FI reports. So if you are cost accountant and you are working on as a cost controller, so in that case you are looking here this below reports or management accounting reports. I was talking sometime before, I was talking about the cost center standard hierarchy. So this is the cost center standard hierarchy. Like you can see different type of cost centers I have created here. Now these are the groups. So this P100 is my cost center group, S200 is my cost center groups. Under P100 couple of cost centers are there, under S200 cost centers are there. But operation designing point of view, only the cost centers P101, P102, P103 we are going to link with our production or with our PP module. So that's why any cost which we have recorded anywhere else, so that need to be allocated to the production cost center. Any of the method you can choose as per the business need, whether it is primary allocation or secondary allocation, but it has to be, cost has to be allocated to the respective cost centers wherever you want. So in end you will find that cost should be only there P101, 102 and 103, and all other cost centers should be 0. You can see this image. So for example, let's say if it is utility cost center, then you can see the balance is 0 because all cost I have transferred to production cost center. If it is canteen cost center, then that cost also allocated to the production cost center. So that's why all cost is 0. In month end, the cost should be 0, which is also one of our period and closing activities. Now we have one concept is there, inventory valuation, that is your material ledger, which is mandatory in S4. So why we need the material ledger? Because if you are going to work on actual costing, then in that case inventory valuation, material ledger will be there. All type of variance we are going to capture through the material ledger. So inventory reporting, I always say that inventory reporting is something different and inventory valuation is something different. If you want to maintain in multiple currencies, if you want to evaluate it with multiple currencies, in that case material ledger or inventory valuation is important. If you are working on actual costing, in that case your material ledger is important. If you are working on multiple like as I said here, legal valuation, group valuation, profit center valuation, in that case material ledger is very, very important, and it is a very vast area, material ledger. So like when I want to see all the reports related to particular inventory, so I can go to the CKM3 report and I can see the differences, the production variance. You can see this report, this is CKM3 report. So here I can see all type of differences are there, how we are going to, what is the inventory value when we are going to do the production, like if it is a consumption, right? So if it is, let's say for example, let's say purchase variance, if it is there, so everything we are going to capture under material ledger, and it is one of your sub ledger related to finance, like your asset and customer, vendor, all. But it is a very important area and one separate area. It is not related to controlling because this wing is alone. So that's why material ledger exclusively, like you will find some rollout projects exclusively on the in material ledger also. This is how the cost allocation will be there. For example, this top you will find one cost center. So this cost center total cost we are going to allocate. I already explained this one. So we are going to allocate to 3 different cost centers by using any of the allocation methods. Maybe I can go for distribution method, I can go for assessment, and in end this cost center, this yellow color cost center should be 0 because all cost we transfer to the cost center 1, 2, 3. So this is the entire process related to your production cost calculation point of view. So the first one is your product cost planning. So when we are going to calculate, and this you can see here with quantity structure, that means we are going to integrate with the PP module. So in that case you will find bill of material will be there, routing will be there, right? So you will find that how we are going to calculate it is like when you are going to work on the cost of production calculation, all this will be there. So that's why I will suggest you just go through my cost of production calculation video. So that will give you more clarity on that. So you are going to integrate the material with your bill of material. Routing is basically operation. Sometime before we discussed about the activity types. So that activity will be part of your routing operation point of view. So we are going to calculate the material price, we are going to calculate activity price, we are going to calculate our overhead cost. So all these costs we are going to transfer to the product, and if it is before commercial production, so that time we are saying that it is our planned cost. Similarly, once we'll have the operation, that time we are going to phase wise, we are going to complete our production. So we will have the preliminary cost, we are going to have simultaneous cost, so we are going to have the material cost in different activities cost. Then in end you will find that when related to period end, either you are going to complete everything. So if the complete production order will be completed, in this case you can see the production order is completed, then variance is we are getting. So that means comparison between your planned and actual. So that is your variance. If it is not completed, let's say in this production order you can see the production order is not completed. So here end result is we have calculated the WIP. So end result will be WIP. That means in this batch these many items are completed, but these items still it is there as a floor, and that we need to complete next month. Similarly, the output we are going to transfer to the material ledger sometime before we are talking that, and this is related to your inventory valuation point of view. So this is one accounting document you can see. In this document, if you try to understand, this is the finance document. In this finance document you will find the balance sheet item and one consumption account. So this consumption account, what is the source, from where we got it? This one is derived from this production order. So with reference to this production order, this accounting document is generated, and as you know that in S4, accounting document is part of header data, is part of BKP table, and the line items will be part of your AC doc. And in the second part, I have given the CO document. Now in this line items, if you check the document number 49007, this is a purely accounting document. Here balance sheet items are there. So wherever you will find the BSX is there, that is your inventory. So that is your balance sheet item. But wherever you will find the GBP is there, if you are familiar with the accounting document, then you will get it. Otherwise, it's okay. So wherever we have the cost components are there, like in this example, the account number 3000, that account number. So that is our consumption account. So that included in my CO document. So this is my controlling document, or this component is important. It is same value, but the finance document I have reported in INR and controlling value there in USD. Otherwise, it is the same. You can see with reference to, and what is the source here for both the documents, whether it is document number 49007 or CO document, this cryptic document, the source document, you can see the reference document 49 some zeros 193. So with reference to this production order confirmation, both your FI informations are updated and the CO informations will be updated. So this is how the cost is going to flow to the respective area. So this is a very high level discuss, like I explained the business process, what are there in the management accounting. But of course, when you will get some more information or you need to be expertise, then you have to go to the respective area, whether related to cost calculation, overhead, profitability analysis, or now we are saying margin analysis, material ledger. So that you have to go into deep dive into that. But I thought like this is going to help at a very high level. If you have any query, please add in the comments or you can mail me. Thank you. So very soon we are going to see in another video.